Alright, 7th graders, here we go. Another A+ Social Studies video for our flipped classroom. Today we're going to be looking at the top 5 Columbus. And what we have here is a document that we are going to read. Now, whenever we have a document, first thing we got to look for is this document going to be a secondary source or a primary source? So let's take a look at it because we're going to attack those different types of sources differently. So I read my directions, right? Let's say watch the video and follow along with Mr. Ayler to complete the test below. Well, we're creating the video, so we're not going to watch it. Textbook excerpt on Christopher Columbus, History Live textbook 2003. There's a couple of keywords here that are going to tell us what this source is. Can you see what those keywords are? I want you to circle them on your paper. I'll give you like 5 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you get them? I'm thinking that you should have circled the word textbook. Alright, in both of these places. Alright, what does that mean? That means we are working with a secondary source, right? Something about a time period written after that time period. Makes sense, right? Because we got the date 2003, Columbus, 1492. That's different. So, first thing we want to look at is what are we going to be doing with the secondary source. So, here's Mr. or Mrs. front side of the sheet of paper. Let's flip it over on the back, and we're going to get Mr. or Mrs. back side of the sheet of paper. Top 5 facts. So we are going to have to pick 5 facts out of the sheet and kind of list them in order. Summary sentence. Use your 5 facts to create a summary sentence about the reading. Alright, so we're going to have to look for some facts, and then we're going to have to write a summary sentence. First thing first, what is a fact? Alright, a fact is something we can prove. Right? Like, we can prove that the Buffalo Bills are an NFL football team. How do we do that? We go to NFL.com, we look up, we see Buffalo Bills are a member of the AFC East. That's something you can prove. Fact, Buffalo Bills are an NFL football team. And here's the difference. Here's an opinion. Buffalo Bills are the best football team. Well, that's going to depend on who you talk to. If you're talking to Mr. Allard, he's going to agree with you. If you're talking to a Patriots fan, they're probably not going to agree with you. So we're going to look for things in the text that we can prove. Whenever we find a fact about Columbus, we are going to underline it. All right? We're going to look for 5, and then we're going to kind of think about what 5 are the most important. All right. Well, let's flip over and begin reading. After studying maps of the world, Columbus was convinced that the shortest route to the Indies lay to the west across the Atlantic. Columbus looked for someone who could pay for the ships and men by sending he needed to test his idea. Eventually, he was able to convince King Ferdinand and Isabella to sponsor his voyage. With any facts so far, I definitely see one, right? I'm going to underline this big fact here, right? And then I'll write kind of in the mind, Spain sponsors Columbus. Wait a minute. What if I don't know what this word sponsors means? Let me circle that. Let me take my red pen and circle that one. What if I don't know what that word means? Right? It's right here in the text too. Guess what that word might be? Ding, ding, ding. It could be a $1 million word, so let's maybe go look it up, grab an extra credit worksheet. But I'm getting off task. Let's get back on task. Alright, so let's keep reading. In August of 1492, Columbus sailed west with 3 small ships. After more than a month at sea, his sailors raised the cry of land. The land turned out to be a small island in what we now call the Caribbean Sea. So, let's see some facts, right? 1492, Columbus sailed west with 3 small ships. Don't really need to kind of make that shorter. Alright? After a month at sea, they finally raised the after more than a month at sea, they finally raised the cry of land. We can't really prove that they raised the cry of land. The land turned out to be a small island in what we now call the Caribbean Sea. That we can prove too, so let's underline that. So we've got 1, 2, 3 facts. Columbus was thrilled. In a later letter he wrote, I write to you how in 30 days I sailed to the Indies with a fleet that the illustrious king and queen gave me, where I discovered a great many islands inhabited by numerous people. Mistakenly believing he had reached the Indies, Columbus called these people Indians. Well, do we know that Columbus really started that? I guess so. We can go with that. So, Columbus called the people he found there Indians. In reality, the islanders were Native Americans who spoke a language called Taino. Taino people lived in a peaceful fishing community. See if this will help. Nope, that's not going to help us with seeing it, so we'll keep it this way. Never had they seen people like the ones who suddenly appeared on their shores. They were friendly and welcoming, Columbus wrote. They were so unsuspicious and so generous with what they possessed that no one who had ever seen it would believe it. Ooh, here's a couple more words, right? We'll circle these. These are potential $1 million words here. Let's go with generous. Maybe not unsuspicious, but how about suspicious? That's a good one. Any facts in there? Well, we can't really prove the interaction or anything like that, so let's keep going. Columbus promptly claimed the island for Spain and named it San Salvador. We can underline that. Which means Holy Spirit. Convinced that China was nearby, Columbus sailed back to Spain for more ships. Columbus made 4 more trips to the Caribbean, finding more islands as well as the continent of South America. Each time he discovered a new place, he claimed it for Spain. Columbus died believing he had found Asia, but later explorers quickly realized that he had actually stumbled upon a new world unknown to Europe. Lots of facts in here, right? Columbus made 4 trips to the Caribbean, finding more islands as well as continent of Spain. We can prove that. Each time he discovered a new place, he claimed it for Spain. We can prove that. So we've got 3, we've got 4, we've got 5, 6, we've got 7. Columbus died believing he had found Asia, but later explored and realized he had actually stumbled upon a new world unknown to Europe. We can't really prove that he felt that way. All right, can we prove that he stumbled upon a new world unknown to Europe? Yeah, so we can do that one. So stumbled upon a new world unknown to Europe. So we've got 8. Probably got a couple more facts in here we missed. All right. Probably the Tainos being a peaceful fishing community is going to be another one that we could definitely prove. All right. So we've got about 9 facts. Now, on the back of our sheet, what you are going to do is you are going to list the top 5. Top 5 facts about Columbus's trip. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the number 5 one is the least important. So we can put, least down here. Put most up here. So this is going to be our least important fact about Columbus. This is going to be our most important fact about Columbus. You've got 9, right, that we looked at. I'm asking you for 5. Then you're going to take those 5 big important facts and put them together in one summary sentence to create a summary of the reading about Columbus. All right, that's going to be your task for tonight. So make sure you get the back side of this sheet done. We did the front side of it to get you ready. Okay, this information is going to be vital for what we are going to be looking at in class on, I believe it's going to be Thursday. So we got 2 nights to get this done. Let's make sure we're working on it. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to stop by 13th period or send me a message on Edmodo. Thanks for watching. See you guys later.